Okay, I just had to go back and dig through my video history to make sure I have not done a video on the Thunderzords, and from what I could tell, I have not done that yet. So, today we are doing this, and it's going to be awkward because the way that my setup is currently, it necessitates a slightly different approach. So, I'm not sitting, I am standing, but I am standing kind of up and behind things at an angle that's going to make this a little tricky. But now we'll figure it out. But anyway, here we have the Thunderzords, whatever they're called in the Super Sentai series. These are covered in Reaper labels, because when I first got this set, I got it for a pretty decent price at Comic-Con, and then found out after the fact, because I wasn't paying close enough attention, there were a lot of issues with the set. One being the Firebirds, or Thunderbird, whatever, the tail was not... this is... Why is my throat doing this all of a sudden? The tail was not present, so this was originally not on the bird. The Red Dragon Thunderzord was missing its tail. It was and is still missing its staff. The sword that this set came with is a different one that's like this more cheapy plastic thing with the tip looks like it's been chewed on. So there's that. And the stickers were kind of all over the place with these guys. So also the Firebird, Thunderbird, whatever, did not have the feet. Like this whole section was not there, which I don't think it actually comes with this. I think this comes with the white Tigerzord. But point is, there was more missing with this set than I realized when I first bought it, which was kind of annoying. So I ended up having to cobble things together through like buying random parts. And I still need to get the staff for the Red Dragon Thunderzord, but here we are. And then, because of the condition, I ended up getting the Reaper label set, which necessitated stripping all of the old labels off, cleaning things up, putting the new labels on. That was a process, and I just couldn't really bring myself to talk about these things for a while because I was so burned out on getting all of this set up. This was at the tail end of 2023, by the way, so yeah, it hasn't been that long, but it's been long enough. And I used to own this set a few years ago when I started getting back into like Sentai collecting, and was missing it ever since. One thing I will say that is kind of unfortunate, I peeled the stickers off of the eyes for the Griffin and the Unicorn, which you can kind of see there. They're supposed to be red. They are not, because I removed those stickers because I mistakenly, foolishly thought that eye stickers were also included in the Repro Labels set for the Thunderzords. They are not. Not for the Unicorn and Griffin, or whatever these are supposed to be. So they don't have eyes. We'll just have to deal. But anyway, this is an interesting set. Very simple in terms of the individual animals. They don't really do much, but they look good. Especially, I do really like how the Repro labels come together. The Griffin, since we were looking at that already, is this black and yellow with some nice, like the stickers really help to set it off. And these are not, again, these are the Repro labels, so the default stickers that this thing comes with are not going to look quite this nice. But I do like the detailing on this thing. I like the kind of vacuum shape of it. I just think it's kind of funny. And yeah, it's cool, and it's very, very much the same thing as the Unicorn, except the Unicorn is kind of leaning forward rather than back like this. But they're basically the same thing. They become shoes. And that, yeah, I don't know what to say about these things, but it's cool for what it is. It doesn't really do anything. You can kind of bob the head up and down and the neck, but like that's all you're going to get out of these guys, which is fine. The lion, I think, is my favorite in terms of aesthetics, especially after getting the Reaper labels on this guy. I really like the green that the Reaper labels add, because originally the head is all just the same black plastic as like what's up here. But the metallic green, I think, really helped to make this pop and shine, and unfortunately the stickers don't sit as well as I'd like, but they haven't peeled off, so that's good. But I like this. This looks good. I like the shape of it too, with like the paws in front. I just think that's neat. And I think it's not great, but I think it's effective how the helmet kind of works as a tail in the back. I don't know. I like it. So yeah, the lion I think is just a fun little guy who, again, doesn't really do anything. But he looks cool. Now, for the bird, looked at the bird before. Bird looks good for what it is. Kind of bums me out that these wings are a little bit on the loose side, but like the plastic is also a little softer than what's going on in here, which is a choice. The stickers also, I think, add a fair bit here. I really like these black stickers on the ends of the wings. I think that really helps to bring that detail out. But this is all like river label stuff. There's the head with its really big frill. And as I said before, I don't think that it normally comes with the feet, but I like having the feet on there because I don't have the platform that this is supposed to come with, which everything kind of sits on. So rather than having them just like that, I like having the legs that I can just clip on. And, oh, did that wrong. There's little hooks back here that actually hook into the backside first. I want to hook those in and then clip this down. There we go. But yeah, I like having the legs on this guy. And they're all fine. they're neat. They look good. The stickers, I think, really make a difference. Now, the Red Dragon Thunderzord, definitely the most interesting of the Zords, but also has the most problems because this guy is really loose, and that is not on the toy. It's more on the just the condition I got it in. But like you can really see how much play there is in the ratchets here, especially this arm. But like it holds together, so that's I guess all I can really ask. Again, the stickers do add a lot of nice detailing along here, and I always did like how this guy's design is. I liked how it was thought through. I'm not sure that it's implemented the best, but like I do think it's cool how you've got the forearms that like split to give him the dragon forelegs and hind legs. And I don't know, it's a clever little design. And you do get a little bit of motion, how you can like move these around to angle them however you want. You can open and close the talons in the front and the back. They're all the same deal. You can open and close the dragon mouth. You can kind of rotate the neck and the tail. You can also move the tail up and down a bit here. You can move it up and down here. Move it up and down here, and along here, and along here, and along here. So, got some decent posability in the tail. And then for the head and neck, you kind of have that going on too. You can angle this down if you want. But yeah, it's not quite as intense as the tail, but the tail is like multi-jointed versus the head that's just kind of a brick with a mouth. No left and right movement or anything like that. It's fine. Again, this is like a 90s era toy, so that's totally fine. Now, let's get these things situated for size comparisons. Actually, let me get this readjusted slightly, as I think I'm just going to get the size comparisons set up first and then start bringing stuff in and out as we go. So, there's Burnout and Overprime and Dinobots and Samus. So there is the Red Dragon Thunderzord. There's the Lion. There's Bird. Unicorn. Griffin. So yeah, they're they're 90s era Power Rangers toys that are themselves basically just copies of the classic Sentai toys, because this was before they started doing the different engineering and basically different toy production split between like the US and Japan. Oh boy, so much to... Alright, I'm going to attempt to pull things back a little bit more so we can do some more comparisons here, because I do have more to go over. Actually, we'll leave them there for now, because we have one more thing to look at. And we'll just do that real quick, because we'll look at this guy more in detail in a second. But yeah, there's the White Tigerzord. I also got the White Tigerzord. This was something I actually wanted to get more than anything, but I also was like, oh, I'll get the Thunder Megazord or Mega Thunderzord to go with it. So yeah, got the White Tigerzord. We will look at this more in a minute, but the White Tigerzord is quite big. So there is all of that. Let's get these all out of the way. It was really awkward trying to do it this way, but can't really do it any other way currently. So, for other size comparisons, let's bring in some classic Power Rangers stuff. There is the Tyrannosaurus, Mastodon, the saber-toothed tiger, the Triceratops, and the pterodactyl. So there's how all of that measures up. And get all these back up here. Hey, why do I always insist on doing entire Sentai and Power Rangers sets all together? Love making too much work for myself. Okay. And one more size comparison before we move on to talking a little bit more about the White Tigerzord. So, there we go. Here is all of the Thunderzords with the duck tank. Alright, let's clear all of these out of the way for a few minutes at least, so that we can look at the Tigerzord without any of this stuff in the way. More or less. That'll do for now. So yeah, the White Tigerzord looks great. I really wanted to get the Legacy version of this, but the amount of money people are asking for the Legacy White Tigerzord is just like, no, absolutely not. Like, I may be irresponsible when it comes to buying toys much of the time, but even I have my limits, and just the amount of money that people are asking for the Legacy version of this guy is just not happening. No interest in the full-on Legacy Thunder Megazord or Mega Thunderzord set. It's just the White Tigerzord that I would love to get the Legacy version of at some point. But for now, I've got the original, and that makes me happy. The electronics, as far as I know, do not work on this thing, but he has all of his red spheres, or semi-spheres. He has his tail, which looks a bit rough, just a bit worn in places, but, you know, he at least has it. And yeah, this was another one where I peeled off all the old stickers and put on brand new ones, and I do really like the design of this guy. I think the colors are really cool, and I really like the stickers, what they add to it. This like metallic red looks great. I love the stripes on the forelegs, and some of the other details going around here. Little vents on the sides of the face. And open and close the mouth if you want. And yeah, there's more stuff that we'll see when we get into the transformation, which I guess since we already are looking at this guy, let's just get into that right now. So before we do the, well, I guess not quite right now, before we do the transformation on the White Tigerzord, if you like this video for some strange reason, or any of the other ones that I've done on the channel, and you want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon or a Ko-fi. Links to both are at the end of the video as well as down in the description. Otherwise, like, comment, share, subscribe, that kind of thing. Now to transform this guy, to pull out his tail. It just frictions in place. You just kind of jam this into this hole back here. So that's something. But yeah, this can go off to the side for now. Now, the legs pop out and kind of dual hinge down on this hinge in here, and then they click into place down here. That repositions the legs. Now the foot transformation or leg transformation I think is really cool. The feet fold up, then fold back and around all the way, and then you slide them forward. And that gives you the robot mode toe. I just think that's pretty neat. It's a clever way of doing that transformation. It's something that I don't feel like we see that often, and I just really like it. So there we go. That locked in. Now he is not wanting to stand because there's so much weight back here. So the way we offset that is we first off adjust the camera so you can see what I'm doing. I want to rotate the entire front section of the tiger down, like so. And we'll open the mouth while we're at it. Now, these bits, just rotate them to the side, flip up pause, and there we've got the hand. You can see this kind of, like this bit here is kind of wiggly too, but it's an old toy. Put that up, rotate it, and we'll just give him a sword now. It just slides into the hand, and he holds it well enough-ish. And then finally, for the head, just take this piece here, pull that out, and it should click. I thought it clicked. Well, it kind of clicks into place. And there we have the white Tigerzord in its humanoid robot form. And this also looks really cool. I always like the look of this guy. I like the red sphere designs everywhere. I like the way that seeing videos on this guy. I really like the way it transformed, but I also just like the look of it in the show as a kid. And it was one that I always kind of wanted to get, but just never really got around to it. When I was little, I only ever owned the Red Dragon Thunderzord, and that was it. So it's nice to finally get this. And it was 2023 when I first got this guy. So yeah, he's cool. I do like him a lot. The stickers definitely add a ton in detailing, especially like you've got the symbols and detailing going on the side here, all the stuff going around the leg, and it goes all the way around, which is cool. A little bit in the pelvis section, there are these stickers down here and here and here and on the sides. These stickers up here, again. Yeah, he looks cool. Even like the little black stickers here, I think it adds a little bit more detail to this guy, and he is a neat looking humanoid. I always thought as like a standalone humanoid Zord that didn't like do any combinations or stuff. This is always one of my favorite designs. Now, the head is pretty cool. It's it's kind of the era where it just kind of looks like a robot, like a silver human face. But I like the gold chrome, I like the silver, the black and the white. It all looks really cool. And then you can also flip that forward for the combination, which we'll look at later. But yeah, it looks good. And I'm pretty sure those eyes would light up if the electronics in this guy worked, if I even bothered to check them. I feel like I opened the battery compartment, which we saw during transformation on the underside here. I feel like the battery compartment's corroded, which doesn't bother me at all because I didn't plan on combining him at all, but something worth noting. Now, for articulation, he's as basic as a Sentai mech. You can rotate the arms around, and you can rotate the forearms, and you can bend the elbows, but only in this direction. So he can only do the bicep curler thing, because you cannot rotate. Like, if you just rotate the wrists, I feel like that'd be all you need, but nope. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to get the Legacy version, because you actually get more arm articulation. For the legs, not even as a joke, there is nothing at the legs, and I mean nothing. There's no in and out, no forward and backward. This is all just one solid piece. No thigh swivels, no knees. All you can really do with the legs is pop them apart like this. Like that's it. You cannot do anything with the legs. That's fine, because he's a, classic Sentai mech, but you're not going to pose this fellow at all, aside from this. So that is it for the White Tigerzord. Now, let's reorient this camera again and start doing more stuff. So, bring in the Red Dragon Thunderzord, and this guy, his transformation, if you're not familiar with it, is pretty cool for what happens in a few places. So first we're going to pop off the tail. It just pegs onto this little strut here. So this pops off, and then this little piece folds in there. This folds in on itself like that, and then put that to the side for now. Straighten this out, flip that up, and rotate it that way. For the head, just pop that off, straighten that out, rotate it. And now these bits here, both the neck and tail sections, fold up. There we go. And yeah, you can kind of see where this is going. So this flips up like that. And now he's like, what are you doing? So there we go. This panel untabs and flips all the way around, and then this flips all the way around, and then this will tab into the back here, provided we can keep this straight. There we go. That tabs in like that. The arms are where it's really cool. So this whole thing here, which can move independently, these fold up and sandwich together, and then rotate around like this. And also I like to close the fist. And yeah, there you go. There you've got a solid single arm. And these again push forward and come together. Rotate around, close the fingers, bring that down. And there we've got a body. Now this will plug in here. These two little peg holes here, two little pegs here, and this is extremely loose on mine. Of course now it wants to hold, but like, yeah, it's really easy to bump this out of position. That stinks, but again, old toy. And then take dragon head, fold this down, and then take the jaw and fold that all the way back. And now this will slide in here. The jaw goes over this piece here, and then this whole section will slide around this, and they're like these little spring-loaded tabs that will lock everything in place. So just slide that in, and there we go. And then you take little antenna things and fold them down. And there is the Red Dragon Thunderzord in its humanoid mode, and he also looks pretty cool. I like the use of colors here. The design isn't as impressive to me as the White Tigerzord, but I do think it looks cool. He again does not have his staff because it just didn't come with it, and I haven't bought one separately yet. But again, this is a cool design, and this is one that I did own as a kid. And he's surprisingly clean for everything that happens here. Now, for the head, it's another kind of like just a human face, but it's silver, so robot, I guess. But I do like the color separation, like the red, the gold trim, the gold eyes, the black on top of the head, and like the silver face. That's cool. And then like the stickers also, I think, just add a little something for the side. There's more intricate detail beneath those stickers, like molded in, but I wasn't about to paint it. Didn't have the patience for that. Okay, for the articulation, the head does absolutely nothing. It's just a solid piece on this version. I believe the Legacy one has head turn, but yeah, that's all you're getting here. The arms can go all the way around. The ratchet on this particular shoulder sucks, but they can go all the way around. They can go out and in. You get bicep rotation. You get elbow that can go in either direction. But unfortunately, because of the way this is designed, you've got the elbow, the bicep curling arms. So you can't do anything like normal with the arms, but whatever. The legs can technically go out, but you end up splitting the pelvis apart. They cannot go forward and backward. You can rotate the thighs. The knees do bend, less than 90, but they bend, and then you can also point and move the toes up. So, get some articulation there. Which, again, is you're not really going to get much out of it, but you get some articulation. Now let's bring the white Tigerzord back in. And, oh boy, okay, gotta recenter this. There are the two of them together, looking like a couple of humanoid robots, as you do. Now, let's bring in our size comparisons again. Here is Grimlock, or not Grimlock, Dinobot. Why did I say Grimlock? Oviprime, Samus, and Burnout. So there is how these two measure up with the more modern-ish standard size comparisons. They're big Sentai mechs, so of course of course they're going to be big. I don't think anyone is surprised by that. And then, since we looked at the 1993 Power Rangers Zords before, let's move you over, bring in the original Dino Megazord, and you can see that the White Tigerzord is about the same height as the Dino Megazord, maybe a little tiny bit taller at the head, definitely taller at the shoulders, but yeah, that's how all of those measure up. Get you out of the way here. And then, for the most vital size comparison of them all, here they both are with the duck tank. Alright, I think this is moving along at a pretty good clip. Oh geez, we're already a half hour in. Okay. Let's get you out of the way, because now we've got to do the Mega Thunderzord. So, this guy is just going to go off to the side for now. There is more we would do with the staff, but just don't have the staff, so... Oh well. So we're going to take the Griffin and push... Nope. Not that. There's a little thing back here. You just pull this out and back, like that. Now the Griffin head can collapse down. And then this moves up like that. And there we've got one leg. And you can tell which goes on the outside and inside by where this panel is, because there's this on this side, but it's not on the other side. So this goes on this side. Unicorn, same deal as the Griffin. Just flip this out, collapse the head in, and rotate that out. And now we've got two boots. And I guess since we've got the boots, we will bring the Red Dragon Thunderzord back in. Going to... Actually, yeah, there's a little bit of prep we have to do for this guy. So gonna bring the arm up, bring the elbow down. And now this is the way it is suggested to do the orientation of the shoulders on this guy. I prefer to do things a little bit differently because of how this can like collapse and stuff. So basically, I'm just gonna rotate them like this. So now that motion is going that way. And on top of that, going to point the toes straight down and then rotate the thighs so that they're so the knees are bent in, thighs are pointed out. And now these will slide in here, and you can actually see there's a little track in there, like a little groove for the spine plates to go. So just slide that in, and that will click in. And same deal here. That will slide in and click in. The unicorn is a little scary to do, but it does work. And this, again, keeps wanting to come loose, but there we go. So now we've got this happening, and we will do more about this in a minute. Now, we'll do the bird. Birds real quick. Just want to, if you have the legs plugged in, just unclip them, put them off to the side. Those legs are not going to be used for anything right now. The tail pulls off. This would go in the staff, but I don't have the staff. So for now, this is just going to go off to the side. The head folds back. and then the wings fold in like this. And I'm just gonna leave them open like this, because what we want to do is bring this guy back in. And now the clips that the legs pegged into are going to go over these little bits on his butt. And while we're doing that, let's angle this in actually, because we got to get around these arms. So I'll do it this way. Okay, this is a mess. I'm sorry. This clips in on his butt. Then these wings wrap around, and these tabs on the insides of the wings will go over these plates on the top portion of the hip. So that just settles in like that, and then this wraps around. And that gives him his waist section. And once we get this guy fully combined, you'll see, but like this section is completely covered by the combination, so that's why I didn't realize he didn't have that piece when I bought him. And now for the lion, just pull the lion apart entirely. This comes undone. This becomes the helmet of the combined mode. The top section plus head all unplugs and disconnects. The paws come apart, and now this piece flips up. There are these little patches in here that you fold out, and these will go around these cylindrical joints at the shoulders. Bring this up. There we go. So there are these cylindrical joints right around the shoulders here. That's where these will clip around. So just bring that in and push that in. And now that is completely covered. Oh, that standing up hurts. And now for the lion paws. There are fists in here, so you want to stick a finger in here. I find is the easiest way to do it, and just push down to pop out fists. And the fist will slide up over the dragon fist and then come in and click around the little circular divots in the elbows there. The way that works is basically this comes up to about the wrist section, and then they're not. Well, I guess this is spring loaded. There's this little spring loaded disc thing here, right here, and this is what goes around the circular bit in the elbow there. So this slides up over the wrist, this comes in, and then this will go around that circular divot, and that kind of locks all this together. So there is that. And now for the last of it, we bring in the helmet. And the helmet goes over the Red Dragon Thunderzord's head, and there's these little nubbins on either side of the helmet that originally in lion mode, this is going to be tricky to show, but basically there are a couple of catches, like little channels here and here. In lion mode, the helmet is upside down and those catches go in here. In the combined mode, the helmet's now facing this way, and they go into these lower ones, or back ones, however you want to look at it. So that's how that's going to go. Bring this up a little bit more, because the other thing that you got to look out for when putting this helmet on is the head, or not the head, the ears of the Red Dragon Thunderzord. There's actually these little cutouts in the back of the helmet that go around those little ear nubbins. So you get all of that in, and then this should just drop down. Come on, why aren't you dropping down? There we go. So it'll drop down, and the ears will kind of poke through a little bit. And that gives us our Mega Thunderzord. And this guy is big. He is much bigger than a lot of other Sentai mechs that are from around this general time period, like the early to mid 90s. Oh, also, forgot about this. The sword. There's this little clasp here that goes around the hip piece of the wing. It just goes around like that, and that gives him his waist-mounted sword. And yeah, there is the Mega Thunderzord, and it's an incredible look. I love the design of this thing. It's not my favorite Megazord of all time for a couple of reasons. I've got the nostalgia for the Dino Megazord because that was the very first one for me. And the Titan Megazord, the Magi Ranger one, is still an all-timer in my mind because it is just the most fun Megazord set for me to play around with. But this guy, pretty darn cool. Again, love the design. I love how, I thought it was kind of funny because there is a Shogun Megazord, but this guy, I feel like, I guess he doesn't fit the bill of Shogun Megazord better, but it definitely gives me this gives me more of an armored samurai vibe than the actual samurai Megazords, which is just kind of funny to me. But he is really cool. I love the colors here. The predominantly black with various color accents, including the red at the waist, but then you get a little bit of that red echoed in the stickers up here. That looks really cool. I also really like that the stickers add the green for the lion face, because this looks so much better in green than the default colors, and you also get this nice bold trim going around the fists. So this is all sticker stuff. The red in the gauntlets too here is also stickers. Some of this stuff you get with the regular stickers, but some of this you do end up only getting with the Repro Label set. But it does look really cool. Now the head, not that one. That one is also cool. I love the look of the helmet. The only thing that kind of stinks about this is it's a problem that I don't think they could have solved in mid 90s era engineering, but it's the face sits pretty far back behind the visor and everything, and that's just kind of It's really, really back there, which is a little silly. It doesn't look so bad when you're looking at him straight on like this, but when you start looking at him from an angle, it's oh, where'd the mouth go? But yeah, it's a neat design still. And I like the green spheres that they've got at the top, the head crest, and also down in the chest here, which that does open. And it originally came with some little Ranger figures that could be put in there. I don't have those, but those open and Ranger figures can go in there. I just don't bother with it because I don't have the Ranger figures and I don't really care for the gimmick. But it can be done. And yeah, he looks really cool. And again, not a lot of kibble on this guy. If anything, really. You've got the bird head on the back, but that's kind of it. So yeah, he is neat. And now for the articulation, it's even more limited than it was with the Red Dragon Thunderzord, because the legs are pretty much completely immovable. You can kind of bend them in this way slightly. You can't really bring them out because all of this would push apart the waist section. Still can't swing forward. You don't have knees now. You don't have elbows. You don't have any kind of bicep swivels, but you can bring the arms forward. So kind of standard Sentai stuff. And if you angle the shoulders the way I did, with these bits here, you do also get to use that as kind of a butterfly motion, which is cool. You don't get any head rotation though, and obviously no waist rotation, but you can give him the sword. It just goes into his hand and he barely holds it, but he can hold it. I just don't really, yeah. It is what it is. Also, if he had the staff, I think that would help, because then you could put the staff in one hand, sword in the other, but like I said, I don't have the staff. Now, size-wise, as I said, this guy, very big. We bring back the white Tigerzord, which was quite a bit taller than the red dragon Thunderzord. You could see that that's a bit of a size difference. So yeah, he's rather tall. And actually, since we're already looking at the white Tigerzord, let's get him over here and bring back our size comparisons again. There is Dinobots and Oviprime and Burnout and Samus. So there is how he looks next to some of our modern standard-ish size comparison stuff. Since we looked at it before, of course, since we looked at it before, we're going to bring back the Dino Megazord. And again, like size discrepancy is quite severe here. There is the Dino Megazord, which is super tiny. And since we talked about him before, bring in the Titan Megazord as well. Or Magiking, however you want to look at him. Magiking Titan Megazord is a little bit small for a Megazord, comparatively, but still my favorite. Even though I have no connection to the show, either show, even like the Sentai, original Sentai show, but I love the thing. I love the individual figures. I love the dragon mode. So cool. So get you out of here. And now let's do the last thing. So, I break this guy down and just take all of this off. So pop that out, slide that down, pop that out, and carefully pop that out because it holds on really securely. There we go. Slide that down, take off the helmets, take off the chest piece, get rid of the sword, take off bird, pop out this, take Griffin and Unicorn off, and hope Unicorn behaves. Oh, okay, that wasn't too bad. Now, for the Red Dragon Thunderzord, he has absolutely nothing to do in this final combination. Not final combination, but like he has nothing to do here. So what I end up doing with him is I just, how did I do this? Is it this way? No, it wasn't that way. Right, okay. So what I do is I hook this into his thumb and then just kind of close the fingers around it, so it's kind of like he's holding the sword. It's a little bit far away, but basically that's how I've got that set up. And then just kind of give him that for now. And we'll put him over here. Okay. So now with all of this, I'm going to bring back the legs for the bird, and those will hook in to the back and clip in there. And this will stay like this, and then this comes in and plugs back into the bird butt, and this will kind of wrap around and be like this. The arm pieces, the fists just flip back in, and then this goes to this side, and this flips back in, goes to this side. Unicorn and Griffin can just stay here. And this guy, we don't do anything with this. I want to keep these out too and just keep this down. Now for the white Tigerzord, hopefully I can keep all this on the screen, going to get rid of the sword, at least for now. And this, I think there's some really interesting stuff with this combination. Okay, so let me try and situate myself so I can see what I'm doing on camera better. I'm just doing this temporarily to get these out of the way. So getting the arms out of the way, I'm going to bring the torso up a click. And now I'm going to slide these legs back and bring them down, but keep them straight down. Like that. Pop these up and bring them back up. Like this. And this is why we wanted to angle the torso, because it needs to accommodate for these, but there's a reason for that. Or there's a better reason for that, because essentially these are going to slide in here, and you want these to kind of go around the tiger legs, and these will clip in, but if you notice, they're at kind of an angle. Like you can see, they're at kind of an angle here. So essentially, this is why this angles up, because once this is in place, that makes this going down and this going up. So now this is suddenly parallel, which that's actually a really clever and interesting way of doing this. I actually think that's the way it plays with angles like that is actually really cool, to me anyway. I don't know. I'm an engineering nerd when it comes to this stuff. I just think that's really cool that, you know, it's angled weird, so it seems unnatural in the like when you're doing the regular stuff, but then once you actually get the legs attached, it's like, oh, that's why, because now the feet are no longer going straight, they're going down like this. Anyway, with that done, the torso slides apart. I wish this clicked in better. That might be due to the age of the toy, but like this tends to want to pop in like that. But anyway, torso opens up, and that gives you the space you need for the arms to go down. The shoulders fold down like this, and there you can see that pop back in again. And now these bits attach up here. They just plug in where the it plugs in where the fist bits go on the Red Dragon Thunderzord. So those tab in like that. Again, that out. They become big chunky shoulder pads. Rotate him around here, and now these little semicircular clip things will clip around these bits here, specifically right in here. So bring that in, and I'm also going to tilt that forward a bit to get it out of the way. So that clips in like that. There we go. The bird, there are these little gray bits on the insides of the feet. Those will settle around the bit, the hole in the fist. So you just want to get that around there, get them situated, and that'll be it. That just gives him his, like, whatever weapon that is. I don't know what it's called. So there's that. I like to give him the sword in this hand, so he's doubly armed. Again, this just loves coming down, especially with this in place, so we'll just leave it like that for now. And finally, one of, I don't know if it's my favorite part of the combination, but it's a part that I do think is really cool. Finally, going to bring you over a little bit. Now this piece, but more centered, this piece flips all the way forward, and then this slides up, but it's a little bit tricky to do because I think just the age of the toy, it likes to pop off if I'm not careful. So slide this up. Oh, come on. There we go. I think I got it. This just comes up and clicks into place. And there we go. There, after a little bit of struggling, we have the, what's this combination called? It's like the White Tiger Thunder Megazord? I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't remember the full name of this thing, but this is cool. I like this a lot. This was actually this is the thing I was looking forward to the most when I got the two sets at Comic-Con. because this thing is just ridiculous in a great way. Like, I really do. Like, I always liked this combination in the show, and I really like it in toy form. I just wish certain parts held together better, but a lot of that, as I said, is more the fault of this being a 30-plus-year-old toy at this point. But, like, it's really big. It's really bulky. Again, I really like the way they use the angles of, like, the feet and stuff to get everything situated in a way that makes sense. He's doesn't really have any kibble either. Like, I mean, yes, it does in the sense that, like, this bit just, like, sits on the back. It doesn't really do anything. But aside from that, like, this is a pretty clean and really cool looking combination. We already looked at the head, kind of, but, like, that head, actually, forget messing around with stuff too much, just do this. So, freehanding it. That head is really cool. I really do like that head. It's like, having it, like, masked and visored, I think, is great because it really stands out in contrast to the other combinations that this set does. And that makes it feel bigger and more armored. And it looks good. I like the red for the visor, the silver for the faceplate, this little bit here, and also like the black chin strap, the white for the crown, but like this gold, which again, like stickers, but it looks cool. And you even get a tiny bit of fake articulation with it because you can kind of tilt it up a bit. Tilt it up too far, you get that, but like you can kind of look up a little bit, which is something. No actual side-to-side motion, but it does it does move up and down technically. All right, let's get this tripod back in place. There we go. And for the rest of the articulation, it's this is basically the same articulation as the white Tigerzord. I'll do the arm here, where it rotates forward and backward. You can rotate at the bicep, and you can do the bicep curl. And that's it. That is all of the articulation you are going to get out of this. There's no leg movement, no waist movement, no knee movement. Like, the legs do not move at all. So it's just the arms, and that's all you're getting. But again, it's I keep saying but again, it's a 90s era Super Sentai / Power Rangers toy. It's not going to start dancing or anything like that. Now, as far as our final size comparison goes, because my goodness, this has been going on forever, here we have Dinobot and Ovaprime, Burnout, and Samus. So our usual size comparisons, again, this guy is quite large. Not, he's not the most enormous Sentai or Power Rangers mech out there. I believe the Super Train Megazord, whatever the Sentai version of that was called, is like one of the biggest, but still really big. Bring in Red Dragon Thunderzord with his little cosplay on, this little helmet and sword. So there is that. And we'll bring in that 93 Dino Megazord one more time. And yeah, this thing is large. Also, I'm just now realizing how it's kind of interesting that the placement of blue and yellow actually switches between the Dinozords and the Thunderzords. Never really clocked that. Anyway, there's that, and since we looked at it very briefly before, still got to bring it back in because we already looked at it before, but yeah, there is the Titan Megazord slash Mudgy King. There's that. And finally, for that always important final size comparison. Here is whatever this is called with the duck tank. So yeah, I mean, realistically speaking, I more leave it in this mode because it's kind of like a large centerpiece, and because it requires a bit less of a footprint on the shelf compared to other options. If I had the space, I would probably display this set as the White Tigerzord on, in its humanoid mode, and then have the Mega Thunderzord as its own thing. But it just takes up so much less space like this. I mean, it's much taller, but like, the overall footprint is about the same as the Thunder Megazord because it's just looking at the space down here. And yeah, I do still have to find a spot for this guy, but this guy is a lot smaller than the White Tigerzord in its humanoid mode, so this is kind of where I'm at. I still think this looks cool, though. I do kind of think it would be nice if the colors of the White Tigerzord were better integrated in the other Zords that attach to it, but it's also, this is like a different combination. This is not the default intended combination like the Mega Thunderzord is. So it makes more sense that it doesn't necessarily have that cohesiveness to it. Like, you get a little bit of black, but like that's pretty much it. It's fine for what it is, though. It's just, it would be nice if maybe there was a little bit of white or that metallic red appeared somewhere else, or if any of these other colors like the green or the non-metallic red or the blue or the yellow showed up in the white somewhere, especially when it's combined. Like, there's a little bit of orange and green on the underside here, but that I don't really count that because you don't really see that, and it's just a strip on the stomach. But it does still look cool, and there's a lot about this combination that I think is neat mechanically. As I said, like the angles and the legs, but I also like how the torso pulls out. It would just be nice if it actually locked in a little bit more solidly. And I also really like how the shoulders flip down 90 degrees and then you attach these. And so, like, not only does it give these a place to sit, which it would be nice if these clipped in a little bit more solidly, but I do like how now it changes the shape of the shoulders. So it's not just these, it's like all of this together makes the shoulder mass, which is cool. But again, it would be nice if the colors were a little bit more integrated together, but whatever. But that has been more than enough rambling about this set. This video's an hour long already, at least this recording time, and I would love to stop talking. So that has been my look at the Thunderzords and the White Tigerzord from, well, call it Power Rangers, call it the Sentai, whatever. These are the Power Rangers toys with stickers that are more in line with the Sentai design. But it's a set that I really wanted growing up, and I'm really glad to have now. Do really like the White Tigerzord and wish someday to get a hold of the Legacy version, but not for $200 or more. That's ridiculous. But anyway, that is enough about what I think of all of this stuff. What do you all think of all of this stuff, up to and including this little guy? Whatever your thoughts, feel free to chime in down below. I always enjoy hearing from you all. Thank you everybody for watching, and as of the end of this recording, this moment right now in time as I'm recording this, I have no clue what the next video is going to be, so that'll be a surprise to me as much as it is to you.